MSJ bulking up, getting ready for the 2025 season. And he says, not this year. This year, I'm not disappointing you. This year, I'm bringing the thunder. Look at the man. He's massive. He's ready. Kyler's got a newfound attitude. The Cardinals had an amazing draft. They drafted Nolan and Will Howard. This is Will Johnson. This is one of the best drafts the Cardinals have had in a long time, and they went really hardcore defense, getting one of the better corners in the draft in round 2, getting Nolan. They did a fantastic job setting up this offense for good field position. They're going to be near and at the goal line a whole lot more. MHJ's 7-8 touchdowns, like that everybody's expecting him to kind of repeat this year. He's not going to do anything really special. Smitty, they don't give him the ball. I think it's going to amp up to 14, 15 scores, something we thought he was going to do last year as a rookie. And sometimes we're a year early. Sometimes that happens in this game, in this sport we call fantasy football. I'm telling you, this is a good feeling I'm getting right now with MHJ. His work ethic is to the moon. There's nobody that outworks this kid. Even last year as a rookie, nobody outworks him. The game was too quick for him. Kyler talked about this and said at one point during the season it clicked for him, and sometimes that happens. Even with the great players, the great prospects, not everybody can BTJ it in year one. It doesn't mean you're behind the game, doesn't mean you don't have a whole lot of upside, doesn't mean you can't reach top 5 wide receiver levels. It happens sometimes with some wide receivers because situation can determine a lot of that. Let's talk about MHJ and more, and then we're getting into our first Best Ball Mania draft. If you aren't on Underdog, the link is in the live chat pinned. Okay? We're jumping into an Underdog draft. Promo code Smitty, and they're $25 an entry. The $10 minimum is all you need to do. An Underdog, they'll match. They'll give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash by using code Smitty and signing up on Underdog. And this is going to be a phenomenal draft because there's so many players that could go all over the place. We have no idea where some of these guys are going to go. We're breaking it all down and more. First, let's talk MHJ. Then we're doing a live Best Ball Mania draft, the first of the 2025 season. Let's talk about how big of a sleeper this is. Let's have the phone lines open even, and then we'll get into a draft. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. Graveyard style, baby.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Boy, are we really looking at some value right now? We're looking at some tremendous value on the board. Some tremendous value. I'm already looking at a Harvey ADP that appears to be in the... I don't even want to say yet with a straight face, but I think we're getting him as like a 6th, 7th drafted player. Harvey is going to be a steal in the draft. All right, so we're talking MHJ right now. I'm going to open the phone lines quickly because there's not a lot of actual news to report, only speculation based off what we're seeing. The Cardinals Instagram page posting, you can see all those little dots underneath the picture. All these different photos. This isn't a post just about MHJ. This is casually just in the mix of a collage of photos, and he looks jacked up. He looks ready to rumble. He looks like he's been hitting the weight room in massive fashion, and I think this will help him. He's already a possession wide receiver. I don't think it slows him down. He's a tactician. He's a statistician. He is a rumbling, stumbling man of his craft, and he has the moves, footwork, and dedication to go at anybody. This is the player that, yeah, he's not going to burn you downfield, but he's going to have a lot of rips downfield on some go routes. He can do that. He can also go get a jump ball on a go route when he's actually covered. But he is going to be a precision and ball control and possession, time of possession being controlled through this man. And he's going to have so many more receptions, touchdowns, and yards this year compared to last year because everything started to click as Kyler Murray described when talking about his rookie season and saying that, yeah, Marv was disappointed with his rookie year. He told Kyler that. Kyler spilled the beans in an interview recently with a local Arizona content creator. They interviewed him. And we talked about that when the interview went down, and Kyler's attitude was really good. He said he loved football. He said he was studying film like crazy. He said he was studying all the incoming rookies just looking at the film, trying to digest who they should take, even though he wasn't necessarily going to have a hand in drafting them. He just wants to know what defenders are coming into the league, what offensive players are coming into the league. He wanted to know everything about everybody. He said he just studies film, looks at game film all the time. And it is just a nice, refreshing thing to hear from Kyler Murray. And I believe him. I don't think this is something that he's making up. I know everybody's going to make fun of him that he's a gamer, and when a new update of his favorite video game comes out, he ends up going missing. I think Kyler's going to have a good year. I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray fan. I've made that well known, but I do know that he has top 5 to 7 fantasy football quarterback upside at any given moment in time. He just can't put it together for 17 straight games, or at least he hasn't been able to. But the Cardinals haven't really supported him to the best of their ability either. But coming out of this draft, I feel very, very excited about what this defensive draft is going to do for a Kyler Murray in the offense in terms of field position. And the drafting of Will Johnson here at 47, this is a fantastic pick. This was a pick that you could argue was a top 15 overall player at one point, and he kept sliding. I like this selection quite a bit. This is a phenomenal draft that the Cardinals had. And then, of course, in round 1, they picked the Nolan kid, Walter Nolan, down at the 16 overall spot. And Walter Nolan was on a lot of people's radars. Even the Niners at 11, the Niner fan base was irate that Nolan was gone. This is a guy you could have easily drafted at 8, 9, 10. Cardinals had an A draft, grade him an A easily with that draft. And the defense is going to be so much better and on point. That's what Gannon wants. That's what Gannon's wheelhouse is. And then you're going to have Kyler Murray connecting with MHJ more often, more frequently. And when you hear Kyler talk about the offense and you hear Kyler talk about the excitement he has for MHJ, you really realize that he's in a different place, Kyler, than he was last year. And so keep in mind, if you close your eyes and imagine you're at this stage last year, you're entering May, Best Ball Mania opens up, Kyler Murray's getting scooped up like crazy, everybody's favorite sleeper quarterback. Dare I say Kyler's kind of going in the territory that, or was going in the territory that, like, you're going to get a Mahomes right now. People sleeping on Mahomes. I think Kyler Murray, who's going to fall even further than he did last year because he failed people, this sleeper, this guy that was a potential league winner, has the upside to, I think, repair his fantasy football image, start scoring again like a 6 to 8 quarterback. Let's pump the brakes and calling him a top 5 guy. But a 6 to 8, that is a good quarterback. And when he scores 6 to 8 QB numbers through the air and run, you have a MHJ breakout season on the way. I wish it was last year. I wear the MHJ scarlet letter on my shirt here. You can't see it, but it's there. And I had MHJ probably ranked higher. If I'm going to sit there and go, oh, I'm higher on him than anybody, I got to take the L here and say that MHJ did not perform to my expectation or to my prediction. We got a lot of other things right. That's definitely one that I feel like I did not land. To the degree that I predicted this man to be in terms of success, he did not meet those expectations. But I am very confident that Kyler can bring his A game enough to make MHJ an absolute straight baller, a guy that's going to be 6 feet taller than he was last year. And I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. And it's going to be an unbelievable situation. So let's go ahead and open the phone lines up and dial in, and then we'll get here into a Best Ball Mania draft. In fact, go to the Best Ball Mania, okay? Go to Best Ball Mania, open up the Best Ball Mania draft page, and you're going to see a slow draft. You're going to see a 20-second and a 30. Punch the 20. It's going to feel quick. Punch the 20. They're going to feel fast. Punch the 20. Let's do a 20-second draft on Underdog. This is going to go quick. We might even be able to do 2 of them because they have this 20-second option. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Okay, so it just filled. It's counting down. I got the 5 pick. We'll go through this. We'll do 2 drafts because these 20 seconds will fly through. We'll get through in like 30, 35 minutes. I'll see if I can draft Kyler. I don't know if I'll be able to, but We'll see if it falls right. I won't force it, but I'll definitely try my very best to attack Kyler. Or I'm sorry, MHJ and Kyler. I'll try and get MHJ and Kyler. But I'll tell you right now that the player, let me see if I can get over to active drafts. Let me pull it up here. Okay. Let me pull it up on my screen here. When I draft Kyler Murray in best ball, I'm drafting him as my second quarterback and stacking him to MHJ. Like, that's how I draft Kyler Murray in best ball. I don't make him my primary quarterback. I do like what I call a sub stack. So we're going to do it that way. We got Justin Rush says Kyler is talented, just feels 1 or 2 rounds early. Well, we'll see in this draft if he's going 1 or 2 rounds too early. So far in this very first Best Ball Mania draft, 20 seconds. I got to go quick. Chase, Gibbs, okay, so we're the top wide receiver. Let's go Lamb Chops. He's my quiet dark horse number 1 wide receiver. We'll go Lamb Chops over JJ. Very arguable. This is our first Best Ball Mania draft of the offseason. Last year I screwed up and I didn't get enough in, so I joined about 70 of them that were slow. And then the timer switched over to 1 hour. And I woke up from one day I sleep in and I sleep like 10 hours to make up for a long night of streaming or whatever we did. And I slept 10 straight hours. And I wake up and I had about 80% of those 70 teams 90% of them all auto drafting. And they're on autopilot. I missed like 3 rounds. I completely botched it. This year we're jumping on it early. I'm gonna get that's why a lot of my advance rate was so bad. We're gonna crank this off really early this year, and we're gonna max out on the Best Ball Mania, and we're also gonna get a lot of weekly winners. And weekly winners is probably one of my favorites. I really like the weekly winners. But this is to you celebration for the first Best Ball Mania draft of the year.
Let him cook.
Okay, Travis, you're live. Real quickly, it went Chase, Barkley, Bijan, Gibbs. I'm surprised it went running back after Jamar Chase. I haven't really seen that this offseason yet, so that's weird. Lamb, JJ, Puka, Nico, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, Genty, BTJ, Bowers at the 2-1. Then it goes 2-2. London, Henry, and then on the clock we'll see. And then JT. Go ahead, Travis. You're live.
Hey, yeah, I'm really high on MHJ. I mean, I have a little bias, I guess, because I was pretty high on him last year.
Sorry, it went down the wrong pipe. 12 seconds left. McBride or Bucky? I got CeeDee Lamb. I think I'll go Bucky.
Yeah, Bucky.
Let's go Bucky. Just get that balance. That I don't think McBride's gonna last, but that he is going a little higher than he was. So McBride's definitely going in round 2 now. Bowers is going at the top of 2. McBride's going. Remember when I was saying I'd rather draft McBride in round 3 and smash the hell out of that? Well, that's kind of out the window. Not for sure, but most likely. I mean, you might get him at 3-1, 3-2 because look, he's still available now because people are smashing wide receiver. That 2-pick, the guy in the 2-pick just took T. Higgins, which you usually don't see unless it's the Jamar Chase owner, but okay. Sorry, Travis, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm pretty high on MHJ. I think he could easily have like, I don't know, 12, 13, 1,400 yards with double-digit touchdowns if they use them the right way.
I would say, what do you think? 100?
Yeah, I think they will.
100 receptions? 95, 100? I'm going to say 100. I think you get up 100.
He's definitely capable of that.
1,300. And I'm going to say, let's just go conservative 13 TDs. I think that's not crazy. And that would put him at what? You know, probably, I would say wide receiver 5, 6, something like that. All right, I'm on the clock real quickly. I got Kyron sitting right there. Kyron and MHJ. I could take the man of the hour, but I think I'm going to go Kyron. I'm loving the hell out of that Kyron 3rd round value, which I don't know that sits that all off season. So I think I want to scoop up Kyron while I can. That's just me, because I think it's going to go away. You know why I think it's going to go away? Because there's two different worlds. There's the best ball world and the non-best ball world. Usually things line up relatively speaking, but there are a couple outliers like Breece Hall and Kyren that go because of the wide. Look at the wide receivers in this draft. The wide receivers. Look at picks 5 at the top, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The wide receivers are so heavy that it bumps Kyren and Breece Hall down into round 3, 4. And I think that once people start mock drafting in their ESPN mock drafts and they see Kyren at 12 and 13, I think the preparation, the closer we get to the non-best ball preparation point in the offseason, the more people are going to see Kyren going in 2, the top of 2, in 1, at the bottom of 1. You know, you hear people give the running back rankings and Kyren's in their top 10, and you're like, whoa. I think all of that's going to eventually influence people into taking Kyren higher. So I am probably more apt to do the running back in rounds 2 and 3 more now than I will maybe in June, July, and August, because I will see wide receivers I like in 3, maybe more if Kyren's out of there. So we'll end up seeing, like, Breece Hall just went at 4.1. That's awesome. That is awesome. That team's pretty good. The 12 slot is BT, Brock Bowers, JD5, and Breece Hall. That's as balanced as you can get. That's a Smitty balanced team right there. Is that one of our people? Might be. That's a great start. Great start. And this team on the clock right here, 4 straight wide receiver. Like, why take Zay Flowers right here? And the 4th round as another wide receiver. Why do that? I'm going to time out here if I'm not careful. I'm going to time out, so I'm just going to take Hurts. Not that it's a panic pick. Whoa. Not that it's a panic pick because he's the 4th drafted player, but I didn't want to time out, and he's such a powerful piece. And I've been really liking the Burrow and Hurts value in round 4, but Hurts, Bucky, Kyren, and CeeDee Lamb. And I can Dax Prescott substack Lamb later. All right, Travis, before you say anything else, let me just real quickly prep because this is a 20-second timer. DK, I like DK next. I like Trey Henderson next. Not sure I'm picking him, but I really like the value. I like Kenneth Walker, Kamara, Debo. I like Debo a lot here. Laporta. Wow, look at this. Look how far down. Like Mahomes, obviously, but later. Look how far down, like, Harvey is. He's so far down. I think that this is because they launched the ADP. Like, this is not updated ADP. I wonder where, like, you want to get your Harvey drafts in tonight and tomorrow, because once the ADP updates, you're no longer getting them late. You're just not doing it. Do I take Henderson or Debo? I got 2 running backs. I got 1 wide receiver. 3 seconds.
Debo.
That's who I grabbed. Okay. So I got Debo. I got Debo and Lamb. I got Kyren and Bucky. I got Jalen Hurts. I'm afraid I'm going to get Harvey taken a little early. I think Harvey.
Sure who else is out there for wide receivers?
Look at Harvey's ADP. And again, this is just slotted in by the system. Cam Scattaboo right there. Charbonnet right there. You keep going. Tootin right there. Bigsby. You're like, oh, Harvey got taken. Damn it. And you keep scrolling and nope, there he is. 155. But that's the system. There's no ADP update yet. So, like, if you want Harvey, you draft him tonight. Because tomorrow he's going to have a higher ADP. People are using this ADP right now. People are they're forgetting about him. I promise you, he moves up 2 rounds tomorrow. Then the next round when people see him, this is the night to take Harvey. You're never going to get Harvey at this discount. These are you should draft all night long.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
This is not ADP. He doesn't have an ADP yet. That's why this is such a crucial day to draft. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah,
so
his ADP is going to jump, what, 50, 60 spots?
I mean, I think he goes in the 6th round. I think that, and the reason I say that is someone's going to take him there after they look through and they comb through and like, there he is. Like, but for me, I'm looking through there and I'm like, he's already taken. And then you keep going and then he's there. And you're like, holy crap. The moment they have an ADP refresh, which will be tomorrow or the next day, probably tomorrow, then you're going to have more people see him. And then they're going to take him a little earlier. And then it's going to refresh again. And he's going to go higher. So it's a gradual climb. I know I'm drafting with some people in here that might snipe, so I guess I'm maybe shooting myself in the foot by even talking about it. But my job is not to worry about that. Is that Harvey? Oh, Judkins went. Harvey's still there. It's not my job to. God, look how far down he is, though. Should I go scat here?
No.
I'm gonna push it. I might live to regret this, but Scat's ADP is so much higher. And let's see if I can swing around this turn. I might live to regret this. I might really, and I love Scat too, though, but I might really live to regret this. Especially if I'm drafting. If I don't recognize.
You got like 7 picks.
Yeah, I don't.
That.
Well, we got 4. Yeah, after this one, we'll be 5 picks. I'm just trying to play this ADP game, and I don't recognize these 4 people. So I don't think they're watching the stream. I mean, they might be, but I don't think they are. And don't look at Harvey as a take him at his ADP. This is not ADP. This is a Kickstarter ADP data from the last contest before the landing spots for rookies. So it's using a combination of certain things, but majority of, hey, what was the last ADP that we had in the last contest? Where Harvey was a rookie that didn't have a landing spot that was still undervalued. So that's why he's sitting there, but you can't trust that. Okay, we got 3 more picks. This is round 7. And there's no way he's in round 7. Caleb Johnson. Oh, bro, this is going to remind people to look for him. And this guy's
rookie.
This guy's got, yeah. Oh, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Because I would rather have Harvey than Scatterboo. I'm just trying to get both. Okay, Baker. Come on, buddy. Hopefully this guy doesn't know. No. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Yes! Tyrone Tracy. I took the starter earlier. I'm not risking the.
He just got the starter.
I'm going Harvey here. Screw it.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so here's the squad. Jeez, man. Phone lines are
back kind of set.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. Yeah. Hurts, Bucky, Kyron, Scat, Harvey, Lamb, Debo. Best Ball Mania champion right here on 4/28, 2025.
There's so much value at ADP with wide receivers right now too, though. You'll be able to build a good wide receiver room.
No, didn't. Yeah, what's his name? No, right before me. No, on the Harvey. Don't draft Harvey. No.
He thinks he got the starter and Tracy. He got the guy.
He got my cuff that I didn't want. I don't think Mahomes will last, but if he did, instead of going wide receiver, I probably would grab Mahomes. I probably would. I don't. Let me merge.
I like that Jalen Royals pick more and more.
Yeah, I do too. Hold on, let me merge Rock out.
Hold on,
All right, I got Rock out on the line here. Phone lines are open, guys. Dial in. If Mahomes falls here, I'll be ecstatic. I don't know that he will, but you got to remember, again, this ADP is being delivered from last contest before the landing spot. So some people are excited about these rookies like Golden, who, so Mahomes could fall. I hope he does. He's the second highest ranked guy. That is a very influential thing when you're looking at a pre-rank and you're like, who do I take? And you run out of time, you just swipe Mahomes. But I've had a guy fall. Like, if I try to remember back, the longest I've had a guy fall that sat at the top, and it wasn't like an injured player or anything that sits at the top and the ADP isn't adjusted, but I want to say I've sat for like 13 picks before, where a guy that's a really good player has sat there at the top and he doesn't get taken, and you're like, come on, and then before you know it, it's Boom. You wade through 13 picks. You're sweating. You almost have a heart attack. And then you look at it's a $3 draft and you're like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing to myself? So, I mean, yeah, it's just going to be crazy. Mahomes is the next guy. I don't think he's going to last, but I only have 3 picks to get there. There he goes. Damn it. That's right. It would have been a bully QB situation. It's not something I needed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on the clock here. Cooper Kupp. Timer goes quick. Jonnu, Cooper Kupp. Kelsey. You know, I might go Kupp to get my wide receiver, and then I'll probably swing back and get Kelsey with this next pick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or, I mean, I don't have Mahomes anymore on my radar. I was going to take Mahomes and Kelsey. Damn it. That sucked that Mahomes just went.
Could even wait on tight end.
Yeah, I might now. Jonnu's not bad.
Jonah's good.
You know who else you're not going to
see? Wide receivers.
Well, do you know who else is not going to last? Is Kyle Williams, who's down here at 168 now. He's going to shoot up to the 80s or 90s, but I got him queued. I love that value. I wonder where the winner of each Best Ball Mania, I wonder what time of the year it's drafted. I hear a lot of people that think they know it all about this. You know, the data-driven, the Excel sheet, the wide receiver guys. You hear a lot of them say that the later, they like to draft later because then they have more information, which honestly is a pro and a con. When you think about it, right now, this might be the best day of it all because Harvey's in the 7th and 8th round. Yeah, I might draft somebody that gets hurt, or I don't have all of the relevant information right now to draft, but I'm missing out on those crazy values that someone else is not going to be able to get in August. So there's pros and cons to it. I personally think my sleeper skills are much more advanced than like the later on skills. Do I go Sharps or Kelsey here? Oh, man.
I don't have any wide receivers.
I had to go.
Wide receiver.
It's 20 seconds. I don't know. It's either answer right then or they won't help because it's 20 seconds. And it's like by the time I'm down, 5 o'clock and 17. I went Kelsey. I don't mind it. I wish I would have had Mahomes, but that's all right. So I got Cooper Kupp, Debo, CD, Kelsey, Harvey, Scattaboo, Kyron, Bucky, Jalen Hurts. Phenomenal squad. Just straight up baller squad. Just
Rain in the chat. Rain asking where to take Harvey in rookie drafts. You were saying what, 1.3, 1.4
to get Harvey.
Yeah.
In rookie drafts, I would take Harvey at 1.5. I don't think I would wait. I just wouldn't wait. I think like if you had the 1.7 or 1.8, you could get lucky. 1.9, wait, and hopefully you get it.
Right.
But if you've got the 1.5 and you're like, should I trade down for what though? You know, if you can get a first rounder like the real NFL by moving down that many spots, then maybe. But if someone's giving you a second rounder or a couple thirds, or even if someone gave you 3 third rounders, Rockout, can you mute whoever's drafting? Because I got massive vibration every time you're on the clock. Just mute if you could. I'm not messing around with it, bro. I'm just not. It's not for me. I've got Jordan Mason's available, Evan Ingram, Jalen McMillan, ETN, Ramondre, Tucker Kraft, Dak Prescott. I might look at that. Tank Bigsby. I'm on the clock here, 15 seconds. What do you guys think? Okay, I'm just going to take. All right. I don't know. I didn't know what to do there, so I just grabbed Dak. I like having a very secure QB room. Plus, you know, I really think that if Lamb blows up, Dak's going to blow up, and having that sub stack of Lamb and Dak is pretty damn good. And I kind of like my next player. I don't know who I'm going to take. The Kyle Williams pick. He's so far down. So far down. There's Dylan Sampson, Trey Harris. I mean, he is so far down. You just don't know when someone's going to do what I did with Harvey, though. Kyle Pitts ain't bad. Man, Jalen Coker got kicked in the sack. See, Kyle Williams is a 168 ADP, which puts him at not my next pick, not even my next pick, but he would be gone by the next one. So, like, do I wait one more round, or do I just take him because I don't want someone else to be like, I don't care about it. His ADP is not real right now. He's much more valuable than his ADP.
Who?
Kyle Williams. So it's like his ADP is slotted for. Okay, Garendo's there. Kyle Pitts is there. Jalen Noel. Yeah, I'm just gonna take him. I don't care. Because we don't. There is no ADP. No smart drafters using Kyle Williams' ADP right now. Just like no smart
pre-drafting.
Yeah, this is like first guinea pig run of tonight's drafts. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know if they'll do an ADP off tonight's drafts, but this is a guinea pig run where you don't know where these rookies are going. They're just slotted. They're carelessly slotted into your advantage. Dial into the show. Here's the number.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Look at the squad so far. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Bucky, Kyron, Scat, Harvey, Lamb, Debo, Cup, Kyle Williams, Kelsey. I love it. And I drafted a team earlier tonight that I want to say is maybe even better than this, that I feel ecstatic about. I mean, I think it's unbelievable. Let me put it on my screen here. I'll show you guys. But this is I did one Best Ball Mania already, so this is my first one. I'm going to do a lot of them on the stream, but I did do this one just to see what the ADPs look like. Here's the team. I got Hurts and Mahomes, Bully QB. I got Achane, Bucky, Trey, Scat, Tank, Garendo. I got JJ, Debo, McMillan, Kyle Williams, Royals, Yoshivas, Kelsey, Pitts, and Gray. Oh, it's an unbelievable squad. Maybe this one could be better. I don't know. Maybe I like this one better. This one I'm working with now. Almost on the clock here. I got 4 picks away. All right, who do you guys like right here? 4 picks away. Tank Bigsby, I like a lot. Likely, I like a lot. Dylan Sampson, solid. Garendo, Goddard, maybe. I don't know. Kyle Pitts, I like a lot more than Goddard.
Bigsby and Likely out of those.
Yeah.
Goddard's not bad. You got Hurts.
Yeah, this is tough. Who are the players that like? Here's Besh. Besh is down at 183. That's pretty good. I'm not even a Besh fanboy, and I see that, and I
third round.
I say, yeah, Besh is gonna go around 2 because of these lunatics. Let's go Bigsby. We'll do
like that.
We'll go Bigsby. So here's the running back stable. I've got Bucky, Kyron, Scat, Harvey, Bigsby. And I saw Corum, and I'm like, okay, I got to cue Corum. I'm like, wait a minute, Corum's now the 3rd running back. It's Jarquez Hunter.
Getting buried. Yeah, getting buried.
But it's like a muscle memory. You'd be like, okay, I got Kyron, I got to go Corum.
Corum was another one of those cult players.
I know. People are wild, man. They're wild. Benson's good value here. Jeez. Benson, Kyle Pitts, Ray Davis is good value, breakout for me. Let's see here.
That Jags backfield is interesting because you can take two of the quarterbacks either way. You know.
I think I go Besh here.
I mean the running back. Sorry.
Besh has 183.
Yeah, I mean Besh.
Yeah.
He should be decent.
Yeah, no. I'm an anti stop, picking this guy in the craziest, of expectations. But like when you're talking about round 13, like the ADP hasn't updated yet. We'll go Besh here. 183 again. You can't use it. The ADP. If anybody's saying why you're reaching, I'm not reaching. There's no ADP yet. ADP does not exist yet. This is last contest ranking ADP ranking, so no one's going to go off of it if they're smart. So look at this. I don't know. I'll take a look, but look at this. Look at this wide receiver room. CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Cooper Kupp, Kyle Williams, and Jack Besh. Running back room: Bucky, Kyron, Cam Skattebo, RJ Harvey, who I took after Cam to play the ADP game, or play the projected ADP game well, and I did it. Bigsby, Hurts, and Dak.
Crushes.
This team feels freaking amazing. And again, drafting early disadvantages, sure. But drafting early advantages as well. There's no way I'm getting Kyle Williams and Jack Besh and Harvey in dog water cellar dweller territory. Like I might have an injury that I don't see coming, and that's going to suck for me. If let's say, knock on wood, like Dak was out for the season. If Dak goes out for the season or something, then all of a sudden, I have a zero player all year long, and that sucks. Kenneth, if I just added you, can you mute real quick or turn the show down in the background, if you could. Actually, go ahead. You're live, but make sure that's turned down. What can I do for you?
This is Ken, mostly Ken. Hold on, let me close my door. I'm at work, so let me close my office door. Sorry.
I don't know what you said, but okay.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get in touch with you for the last couple of days. My thing is that you said that you feel Travis Hunter is going to break IDP, and I disagree with you.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, because if that's the case, if Travis Hunter will break it, why didn't Lamar Jackson break it? Why Jalen Hurts didn't break it? Why Josh Allen didn't break it? Those are basically two players playing one position, running back and quarterback. So I'm just trying to figure out your thought on that.
Do you know what IDP means?
Yes, it means individual defensive players. That's the type of league I play in, yes.
Okay, so what are you talking about? A player that plays two offensive positions. I'm talking about a defensive player that might have 12 to 15 touchdowns, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's other players that plays multiple positions. In my league, if your receiver plays punt return, all those points count. I guess my point I'm trying to get back to is that when Lamar Jackson and all those running quarterbacks came into the league, yes, it was a little shift in how you had to draft and evaluate, but I don't think he's going to break it. Would it be a slight advantage?
What are you talking about, though? I don't think you're understanding what the point is of it. He's going to be playing defense. He's not. Some of the examples you said, Josh Allen. What's Josh Allen have to do with IDP?
The only reason why I'm saying Josh Allen is because Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson is because they're basically playing two positions, running back, quarterback.
You're not following.
Now, take that into defense, right? Basically, Hunter's going to be playing cornerback and receiver.
I don't think you're getting it, bro. The difference isn't. Oh, you're looking at this in a weird way. Michael Vick didn't play two positions. Michael Vick was. A lot of people said that Michael Vick's like having a running back and a quarterback at the same time. Not really, because he wasn't an elite quarterback and an elite rusher. Not to mention it didn't even matter. We're talking about an IDP player being drafted as a D-back, as a cornerback, and he's going to score 15 touchdowns. There's no example in the history of anything for that. This is your argument is completely off. It's not even close.
I get what you're saying. I mean, but you can't guarantee 15 touchdowns.
But now you're
speculating
going
on
away from your argument. Your argument was Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick. That's like calling into my show and saying, Smitty, you like Harvey a lot. Let me tell you why I don't like Harvey. The balloon animals at the local mall are all flat. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with IDP. Josh Allen has nothing to do with IDP. And trying to compare him being as a running quarterback, it's not even close, bro. You got to understand this.
You still have offensive players on IDP, right? You still have to pick up offensive players, right? I was just using that as an analogy to make my point that when he came in, Josh Allen and all of them, Lamar Jackson, and when they running back / quarterbacks, my point is the fact that, hey, they didn't break the league either. That's all I was just trying to say. I do get your point when you saying 15, 20 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to play that much. I mean, that's just me. I do think he's going to play both ways. I have the 105 in my rookie mock draft this year.
What do you mean you don't think you don't think he's going to play that much?
I think he's going to be more. Well, I guess maybe I'm hoping he's going to play defense and maybe has an offensive package. I don't think he's going to be playing 100% of snaps on both sides.
Well, let me just break the very sad news to you. I don't know why you're hoping that. First of all, why are you hoping that? Because you've been talking bad about him.
Cornerback versus.
But bro, I don't think you're. No offense. I don't mean this in a I'm not trying to tear you down type of way. But I don't think you're understanding. If you want him to score you more points, you want him to be a receiver. If your league allows for that, him playing 20% DB and 80% wide receiver, and if he is a cornerback and he's in your lineup, he's going to outscore the entire fantasy football universe. Like, I don't know what you're really. You want him to have 12 to 15 TDs.
If he's not a starting cornerback, are you going to be able to start him in your fantasy football league as a cornerback?
That's gonna be the thing that I've said that is going to be the whole fantasy football world is going to be torn upside down, because you're going to have commissioners and bad commissioners and bad apples like trying to change the game on everybody. You're gonna have commissioners going in and screwing with everything. Like, that's not fair, so we're going to take it out. When someone else can have a big advantage and no one else can have it, commissioners get upset. Bad commissioners get upset. But I don't think you're picking up on what I mean. But like you called in and said, you think Hunter's going to break ADP. I disagree. Your argument was with quarterbacks, and you're saying you were just using that to prove your point. You didn't. You made your point worse by calling in and saying Josh Allen didn't break IDP. What are you talking? Like, you haven't given me a single bit of evidence to shoot down my stance. I feel more right now that you called in than before. and second of all, to break the bad news to you, they've already said he's starting off in the wide receiver room, bro. So you can disagree with me all you want, but you might want to watch the show more so you can be more informed on what the hell's going on. Because he's going to be a wide receiver first. And then he got drafted by an offensive-minded guy, and then he's going to be a cornerback after he's settled in as a wide receiver. He's playing more wide receiver.
Okay, I mean, I guess we got to see.
No. We don't got to see, and we don't have to see whose point is better. You called in with the quarterback example of why he won't be good at IDP. You have nothing. You haven't given me a single bit of evidence or any sort of argument. I mean, Travis, am I picking up on something?
No. I mean, I get your point. You're just not picking up what I'm putting down. My point was even if it said any name, the fact that Lamar Jackson plays quarterback, he throws the ball, but he runs for almost 1,000 yards too. That's like having two players, a running back and a quarterback.
Somebody help me!
I was just trying to use as an analogy.
Somebody help me! That has nothing to do with it. There's nothing to do with it. Absolutely zero.
I thought your point, the reason why he was breaking IDP is because he's playing two positions.
Yes, that's why he's breaking IDP.
So he's trying to say that Lamar will score as much as Hunter.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's like basically having two players in one. That's the reason why he's saying Hunter's going to break it, is because it's like having two players in one.
I
Lamar Jackson is like having two players in one.
Bro, it's not.
So why did you break the fantasy football?
It's not. No, break IDP. We're talking about IDP. We're not talking about breaking fantasy football. Yes, Michael Vick was a cheat code for a quarterback, for a player you draft. That's why you draft him in round 1. He's a perfect example of how playing, you could say, having.
But you lose out on other positions when you draft quarterbacks early.
Bro, what are we talking about? Now you're talking about this? Bro, you got to stay on point. You got to stay on point. I'm trying to help you here. You saying that you disagree. Oh, my God.
No, I hear you. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to put all that draft stock in picking up a quarterback that's a dual threat, then you lose out on other quality like a CeeDee Lamb or a Jamar Chase or other positions and it's going to make you have to get a lesser tier receiver.
Why are you talking about
so that balance the league out?
Why are you talking about quarterbacks right now? Why are you having why are you now having
that's the only example. That's the only example I have of someone that's closest you can be playing two positions as one player. It's no other examples unless you want to go back to like Dion or something like that. But for the most part, there's no other examples of it. That's like, closest to 100.
I gotta go, bro. This is not. I'm sorry to say, this is making zero sense. And I know what I'm talking about. I'm not understanding you. This is like talking in circles. Like, just to sum it up for you, your quarterback example has no relevance. Number 2, just because Josh Allen runs a lot and people say that phrase, they use that phrase way too loosely. That it's like having two positions. When he's scoring and running, he's not throwing. So at the end of the day, it's a balancing act of how many touches and opportunities and touchdowns you can score. There's no having two players at each position, bro. There just isn't. That's not the way it works. Second of all, the whole concept of breaking IDP is that you're drafting this man as a defensive player. You're not worried about quarterbacks or running backs. You're talking about a defensive player, okay? A guy that's going to get you 2 to 4 interceptions maybe in a season. I would call it 2 or 3. 2 or 3 touchdowns, 1 or 2 touchdowns or whatever that he's going to score on an INT, taking it back to the house. And I say, hey, guess what? I'm going to hand this IDP player 12 touchdowns. What do you think that does to him relative to all the IDP players? He ranks above everybody. Have you ever heard of X Factor? It was one of the very first things that people would analyze in fantasy football. How many points the player you're picking outscores the last starter available at his position? Meaning Randy Moss, how much would Randy Moss outscore if you were playing a 3 wide receiver league? 12 times 3 is 36. How much will Randy Moss outscore the 36th best wide receiver? And you have 12 quarterbacks. You have 12 quarterbacks. How much will Kurt Warner outscore the 12th quarterback in fantasy football? And the X factor for Randy Moss was astronomically higher than any other player, so that meant you draft him number 1 overall according to X factor. Okay, so what we're talking about here, Lamar has nothing to do with it. I don't care if he runs, catches. Taysom Hill's probably the better example you could use, and that's still not even relevant because we're talking about an IDP player scoring. No, there's no You're totally not even getting it. You're just not getting it at all.
I get it.
No, you don't.
Devin Hester?
You know, here, let's ask the chat. Chat, is he getting it at all? Is there anybody that thinks he understands a single bit of what I'm saying? Because I don't think he does.
I don't understand what you're saying. Can I run it back to you to show you I understand? Can I recite it back to you to show you I understand?
You can recite it back, but do you still think you're right?
I disagree. It's one thing is not. We won't know who's right until the season play. I'm just saying I'm
right. No. I'm right. You don't get it. That there's nothing to debate here. You don't seem to understand. I can't do it anymore. I appreciate you, man. Call in anytime, but I'm not going to ruin my show talking about this over and over and over and over and over. It's like somebody saying that the sun is a triangle. And I'm telling them, no, actually it's not. They have evidence of it. No, but we'll see who's right. The sun's not a triangle. I just, there's no way I can continue to have my show tank in viewership because I got to keep repeating myself. Someone's saying I can't believe you.
The easiest way for me to explain it, and you just pretty much said this, is having him gives you such an extreme advantage in that position over everybody else.
it's the thing is I shouldn't even have to explain it.
Automatic.
Yeah, the thing is I shouldn't even have to explain it. I don't know. The reason I stayed on it so long is because I was in the middle of drafting. So, but I didn't mean to be rude to him, but like the moment you say,
did you finish that draft?
Yeah, but I lost all train of thought. So he probably screwed up. I probably would have won millions of dollars if he didn't call. Let's see what I did.
Cost you millions of dollars. I was just gonna say after you do that team, you got some super chats after.
Okay. I shouldn't have let it go that long. You guys are right. I may have lost millions and millions of dollars. I threw away my whole life on that phone call.
Kids, college, everything.
Yeah, the reason I feel like I may have actually done okay, but there could be a mistake here, is that I didn't grab a third tight end. But it's hard because this went down to 18 instead of 20. So I got Mason Taylor, who I like, and I got Kelsey. I could be okay. I could be fine. That might have given me an advantage of having an extra player, wide receiver that helps me win it or something like that. I got Bashard Smith. I could have maybe went away from Bashard Smith and Michael Wilson, but, going this route is fine. I went ahead and got Joe Milton to cuff to Dak, and then I got Jalen Hurts. That way, if Dak goes down, I at least still have a quarterback. But someone said it was still entertaining. Yeah, but that was just insanity. That was like somebody, and I hope he's listening because I want him to know that he can call in anytime. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that ever again because he really did not understand. He really did not understand. He's like, I disagree with you. Like, it'd be one thing if you're like, kind of thing, he's like, I disagree with you. I'm like, okay, please, let me know what you think. Lamar Jackson, nothing to do with this. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't know what he was thinking. How could you not comprehend that a DB or a linebacker or a defensive end or somebody that's scoring, they can only score so much in fantasy, and then you're going to hand them, like, yeah, he might have less tackles and less, fumble recoveries and stuff, playing at like a 30% DB clip, sure. So he's got to make sure he makes up for not being on the field a majority of the time by doing something on offense. But if you score 10 to 12 touchdowns, let's say, and he's like, I don't think he will. Well, he doesn't have any information. Like, he didn't have any information. He needs to follow this channel. There's more of a chance he's a wide receiver than a DB. That's been confirmed. But, like, imagine giving your DB, let's say, half the production, but then you hand him 12 touchdowns, and you hand him 65 PPR points, and you hand him even 700 or 650 receiving yards. All of a sudden, he's the number one overall, IDP scorer. Like, who knows what happens, but good Lord. Okay, he's in the chat here. He's not offended. He said not offended. Okay. I'm glad you didn't get offended. I was losing my mind, though. I'm sorry if I handled that wrong. My bedside manner is not known to be the best. Appreciate it.
Oh, actually, that's good. He got through. He was trying to call last night, and he kept getting busy on it. So it's good he got through, though.
Yeah. Call in next time. Let's just not talk about that. And you can call back if you want. Just not about that. All right, guys. Let's get into a 20-second Best Ball Mania. Go right now over to the Best Ball Mania section, okay, of they changed the app up.
Super chat.
Oh, yeah. Super chats. Justin, thank you for your super chat about Kyler. Where did Kyler go in this draft? Because you said that he feels a little early. Let's take a look at the board. Kyler Murray went in. You sure, bro? Where did he go? Round 8. I think it's fine. I mean, I guess you could argue around early, I suppose. But again, my team: Hurts, Dak, Milton, Bucky, Kyron, Scadaboo, Harvey, Bigsby, Bashard Smith, CeeDee Lamb, Debo, Kupp, Kyle Williams, Besh, Royals, Michael Williams, Travis Kelce, Mason Taylor. Do you think the Mason Taylor Kelce part is bad? Like versus like a Brashard Smith or a Michael Wilson, or you think that's negligible because
I probably would have went with a third tight end just because rookie and older guy, there's a little risk there, but I don't probably be okay.
Best Ball Mania. All right, let's get in. There's one more to start. Let me pull up the draft. Jeez, man, I was losing my mind there on that one because I was trying to draft at the same time. Active drafts. Okay, this draft starts in 57 seconds. Let me put it up on screen. Let me.
Yeah, I got in.
Rock out. You got in? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think there's a few more super chats too.
Smitty, tell this man he has a place in my league. He's in the chat. You tell him. He'll join with you. Look, look. Just to defend him, maybe he's complete, genius at everything else fantasy football. Not trying to tear down his knowledge of ball. This argument was weird, and I wonder if he's going to understand it. Watching it back or something, but it was. I think it's one of those things where later on you're going to go, oh, okay. 1 QB, full PPR, 3 flex. Is it okay to trade? I will say he's a freaking thick-skinned mofo, man. The fact that I went at him so hard, and even in the chat, he's like, I'm not offended. Like, this guy, let's give him a round of applause for being the thick-skinned guy that he is.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
I give him that credit all day long. 1 QB, full PPR, 3 flex. Is it okay to trade away CD for 1.1 in Lad? Yeah, you're damn straight it is. Yeah. Running backs are Achane, Kenneth Walker. Wide receivers are Marv, Olave, DK. Yeah, Rome, sure. Your team looks fantastic. And I'd even then try and trade Lad away to upgrade into a player I like just a bit more. But I like Lad. I just think you can couple some stuff and get a stud. I know some will say he is a stud, Smitty, but I definitely... Should I go JJ on this one, or should I go CD again? Double down on my... 5
CD.
seconds. Okay, let's do CD again.
Switch it up.
No, too late. All right, and this one from Jared. Jared says, 1 QB, full PPR, 3 flex. Is it okay to trade away CD? Oh, that's the one I just did. John, thank you for your super chat. Jonathan says, Dynasty, Mahomes, CJ Stroud, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Tyron Corum, Garendo. Man, it sucks Corum's not the cuff anymore. That just really sucks. It's kind of like buying a jersey and then they switch their number. You're like, you son of a bitch. JJ Puka, MH Shea Waddle, good wide receivers, bro. McBride, love it. I can get Bucky or the 1.6 in a rookie draft. Can I get Bucky or the 1.6 in a rookie draft? Can I get Bucky? What does that mean? Can I get Bucky or the 1.6? For what?
You mean like, can you trade for it?
Come up with something, I guess?
Hello?
Are you saying, Jonathan? Like, can I make up a trade for that? I guess I would say, it just seems so exact. 1.6 or Bucky. Maybe this is what the owner has that's willing to trade. Is that what you mean? Clarify that for me, Jonathan. I don't really know what you're asking.
Maybe he did mean can get Bucky.
Yeah.
Or is it I can get Bucky for the 1.6? I don't know. I'll let you know if he says something in the chat.
Yeah, Jonathan, I'll leave it up here and I'll help you. I just want to, rather than go off on a tangent. Mo City, Ken says, we play on MFL. I don't do ESPN or Yahoo leagues. MFL is old school. Old school. I haven't done a league on there since the original big league that we did, that 96 team league. I hadn't done my fantasy league for probably years before that. Someone is offering him the Bucky for the 1.6. I take Bucky in a heartbeat over the 1.6. Yeah. The only thing I would say is if Harvey falls there, which he certainly could, then it does become tough, in hindsight, but yeah, man. I guess I'm gonna go McBride here. I don't know. Let's try it. I was going to time out, and I was going to go A.J. Brown, but I have my concerns about A.J. Brown. I do. I'm not saying I won't draft him a little bit. I'm not. I have my concerns. I'll probably have a video on it. Dynasty Mahomes, C.J. Stroud. Yeah, so if it's Bucky for the 1.6, Jonathan, is that what he clarified? Or somebody else just I think that was Vincent clarifying for him, but I don't.
He hasn't said anything.
All right, Jonathan, let me just give you the general advice, and we'll follow up if you got another question around it. But I'd say, yeah, I'd take Bucky over the 1.6. But if Harvey's there, it becomes a dilemma. But I'd take Bucky. I love Bucky. I'd put Bucky at 1.2. Like if I was drafting Genty and Bucky was in the draft, somebody cut him, he was in the player pool, I'd probably take Bucky 1.2. At least in some drafts, and in other drafts, I'd mix it up. I'm not going to lie, but I definitely could see myself, if it was one draft, one shot at that situation, I'd take Bucky as the 1.2. And if you're talking about can you trade it or is it possible, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a tough call. Okay, so Kyren and Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs are all available. Garrett Wilson just went. I think I'll go. I hate keep drafting the same player over and over like Kyren. Should I go Hall here or should I just take Kyren again?
Mix it up. We're here to mix it up.
Go mix it up.
All right, let's go Hall here. Yeah. I think he's gonna have a big year. I think Breece Hall gonna have a huge year. You know what starts messing with you is when you just think about like, what if I did do this? What if I went Kyren there? What if I was gonna win the whole $1 million, millions of dollars by going Kyren there? Like, doesn't that mess you up? Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't think about it because Hall could be the number one running back in that year.
Yeah.
Already came.
So I'm going to want to grab Kyler in this, and Dak. I'm going to try and grab Dak and Kyler. There's nothing more beautiful than a double stack. You grab CD and Dak, I grab Kyler and McBride. So I'm going to look to maybe do that later.
You had a member message. He was asking, is Genty a top 5 pick this year?
I think if he climbed that high, I'd pay it. I'd pay 5 overall. Because I love CD Lamb and JJ though in best ball, I'd find myself drafting it less than I would in redraft. But I draft in a couple of leagues with buddies, and I have a league that I've done for 20. Let's see. Let me do it. Let me get the calculator out because I have no idea how long I've done it. What is it? 2025. 2025 minus 1992. 33 years. I have a league that I've done for 33 years. And it has like 3 or 4 of the original people in it though, like over time. But that league is running back hungry. Like Kyren has almost 0 chance of making it past pick 14. Just to give you an example. Breece Hall will go in the middle of 2. So like those scenarios I'm having to draft Genty. I draft him at 5, and then I'm gonna grab receivers later and I'll get them. But here in this best ball world, you aren't getting them. All right, guys, there's a 20-second timer, so I got to go quick on this. I got Devontae Smith, and I got he just went. Hurts is available. I could have went Hurts and Devontae. That would have been fun.
Yeah, could go Hurt.
Trey Henderson's there, Kenneth Walker, Kamara. Wide receivers, I got DK. Tight end.
A little more safe.
I already got. So I'm probably thinking Hurts again here. I hate to just keep taking the same players, but
a little more safe.
I think I'm going to go Hurts here. I just don't know that I love, like, looking at this. I like Burrow, Hurts' value. I like DK, but he might fall. And if he doesn't, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'd reach on Debo if I lose DK, maybe. I don't get this 4th round Zay Flowers value at all. I'm completely dumbfounded. This is the 2nd draft in a row, and the person that's taken him has at least 3 wide receivers in the first 4 rounds. What is the forcing? There's Travis Hunter in the 4th. See, we don't know where these rookies are going, guys. Look at this guy in the one spot. Chase, MHJ, Hill, and Hunter. He's going to go wide receiver here again. He might as well pack it in. Joe Burrow. I mean, he's cuffing Jamar Chase to Burrow. I like that, but I mean, what's this? I mean, this is the draft to do it in now, though, if you think you're going to get Harvey and like all those guys, though. So let's see what he does with it. I like the Burrow pick. I think that was smart. If he would have went like a Flowers type player, you're packing it in. Like this guy drafted Flowers with his 4th round pick. He's done. Put a fork in him. Kenneth Walker, Kamara. I'll probably go Debo here. Yeah.
Both good options.
Yeah, Debo. I like Debo. So McBride, Debo, Lamb, Hall, Hurts. That's good. It's really good. You just gotta be careful. Like you gotta use the pre-rank, this very bad pre-rank, to the best of your ability. Like taking Hunter that early, that wasn't probably the best move for him. Although it might not have been there in round 5, I guess, when he came back at the end. But I don't know. That seemed like awfully early. You're kind of kicking your upside in the nutsack by taking him that high. Like you're taking him at, I don't want to say it's his ceiling value, but I don't know. All right, dial in, guys.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Go over to the board there. I like the squad so far. Kamara, Kamara's falling. These rookies are pushing Kamara down. There's RJ Harvey. So you draft with our group and you're just not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Harvey. That's a good. And that goes to a team that has. That team's okay. I don't see it winning. Puka, Achane, Worthy, Devontae Adams, Cortland Sutton. I like Harvey a lot, but that team does not feel like a team is winning Best Ball Mania. I'm sorry, not yet. Maybe later on it feels great. This team's pretty good. BT, Bucky on the far right. BT, Bucky, Jaden Daniels, Rashee Rice, Walker, and Kamara. I like that. It's a pretty good team.
Yeah, that's my team.
Oh, it's yours? Oh, nice. I'm glad yours wasn't the first one I read. That one sucks. All right. I gotta look. Hold on one second, boys. I gotta look and dig into Caleb Johnson. You just don't know where these players are falling. You really gotta dig. It's crazy.
Hey.
I'm gonna go. It's early, but I'm in a timeout, so I'm just gonna take him. It's early. Scottaboo would have probably made it back to my next pick if I was drafting with a bunch of regulars, but so I took him a wee bit early. So I got Hurts, Breece Hall, Scottaboo, Lamb, Debo, McBride. Pretty good. But it's so hard to know where these guys are going to go. You really just have no clue. Jonah Smith ain't bad. Tyler Warren. I'm just going to cue everybody I like. I hate setting bad examples for taking guys way ahead of ADP too. Like it's a balancing act. It's a total balancing act.
Yeah, this is a rare case, though.
Yeah, drafting the first go, you really are setting the tone. On the clock.
Yep.
I got McBride. Man, on the clock, I guess I'll go Cooper Kupp. I don't know.
And pretty tight with the wide receiver.
And that 20-second timer is tough. But yeah, I mean, Lamb, Samuel, and Cooper Kupp, McBride, Breece, Cam, and Hurts.
Same wide receivers as the last one, right?
I think. Yeah, I think. Ray G's got Gibbs, Ladd, Kyron, J-Mo, Chuba, Mahomes, Ibuka. I'm trying to see what team I think is the best team outside of my own. I hate the DJ Moore third round pick. That team at pick number 9, I feel like crap the bed. Addison in the 5th and DJ Moore in the 3rd. Oh, that's brutal. I think rock out. You got one of the better teams. BTJ, Bucky, Jaden Daniels, Rashee Rice, Kenneth Walker, Alvin Kamara. He's on the clock now. What you're gonna do? What you're gonna do in rock out's drafting with you? 2 seconds. Tyler Warren. A little early, but I think I could hear you timing out. I could hear it in your soul. That's like the universal timeout grunt. Let's see here. Jonu. I don't need a tight end, though. I don't mind bully tight end, though. Jonu. Man, I don't know. The problem is I don't know like what I'm looking for. Because some of these guys are so far down. I wonder if people are missing, like an entire best ball community is missing somebody that we're not thinking of. I'm gonna keep scrolling and see how far I can go. Because I have a feeling there's something going on down here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Kyler here. I wonder if it's a better strategy for me since I really like my 3 receivers. I really do. I'm going to look at RB here. But part of me is wondering, am I going to crush it with the Hurts, QB1, Kyler and McBride stack, and then Dak and CeeDee Lamb stack? Am I going to have more of a benefit grabbing Dak here and missing out on a receiver I might like? Which honestly, there's not a lot that I even love right here. Kind of feel like maybe, I want to make sure.
I think there's wide receivers down low that you like just as much, you know.
Yeah, I mean the only person I maybe grab here is Kelsey, but I already have McBride, so kind of rolling with that. But I could go RB here. Like, do I go I only have Cam and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Like, do I go like...
Oh.
I'm going to go Sharbs. I need a home run here. Yeah, I mean, Dak's ADP is so far down. I don't know what I was even thinking. I didn't realize he was so far. He is so far down. There you go. I left Kelsey for you, pal. Ray G. Yeah, Dak's ADP is, I didn't even realize he's dropped a lot. Dak's ADP is 126, and we're at 100, so I'm fine. I didn't need to do that, but I can still do it later. Dang, Caleb Johnson went. Dang.
I would have been. How do you like Jalen Warren, best ball?
I don't think I'm touching him.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I'm touching him, man.
You think Caleb's going to have the whole backfield there?
No, I don't necessarily think that. I still think I'm touching the backfield. I don't think I want anything to do with that Steelers backfield. I would take Caleb Johnson or Warren at the right value, I guess. So, man, Najee took a tumble. Look at Najee. Najee was going in like the 4th, 5th round. Now he's at 106. Crazy. Super chat here from Aaron says, how do you stack neighbors? With Scataboo. Do a little sidecar stack. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you have. I mean, Winston, but like, you really going to take a backup quarterback? Wilson, are you really going to take a quarterback that might eventually be a backup quarterback? Dart, he's not going to start for a while. I guess you could grab Dart as your 3rd QB, but I don't know that you would do that in an 18-team league or 18-man league. You know what I mean? So he kind of is a guy you just don't stack. Not everybody should be stacked. Not everybody needs a stack. Sometimes I barely stack at all. I can't stand when people like kind of insinuate you have to stack. Not what you're saying. I'm just saying when people like create content around that, it drives me nuts. Like, if you don't, like, I remember people would call into my show and basically try and tell me what to do, tell me how it is. One guy would call in and go, if you draft Jamar Chase and you don't draft Joe Burrow, you can't win. Like, you can't, as if in week 17, Josh Allen can't outscore Joe Burrow while Jamar Chase is the number 1 wide receiver. Like, you can't.
And then there was the ones that were like, you have to have 5 wide receivers in your first 7 picks type of thing. And I know they're taking data from like certain people who won, but it's going to change every year.
Yeah. Like, it's easy to say, the winner had Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, but you gotta keep in mind that you can't get that this year. The only thing you can get would be in a similar fashion would be like, just an example, Dak in what round are we, 11 or 10? So Dak in 10, Scat in, where did I get Scat? Scat man, 106. Yeah, I got him at 106. So Scataboo went in the 6th round, and then CeeDee Lamb goes in round 1. So this is a very cheap way of trying to like get a similar thing going on. And Burrow is going to cost you now. He's going to cost you a 4. Chase is going to cost you a 1. And Higgins is going to cost you a 2 or a 3, but in some cases 2. So you only have a 3rd rounder to help support that. Whereas last year you got it so much cheaper. I'm going to go with Bigsby here. So I'm kind of swinging with this light RB room. So I got Hurts, Kyler, and Dak. Honestly, I feel really, really good about this team because I've got the Jalen Hurts standalone non-stacked quarterback. But I've got Kyler with McBride. And then I've got Lamb with Dak. I'm like, I've got potency all over the place.
Two running quarterbacks.
Yeah, two running quarterbacks. My receivers feel really good. I know they're thin right now because I'm stacking other positions, but you got Lamb, Debo, and Cup. You know, there's good upside. And then to have these RBs, I mean, Hall and Scat and Sharps and Tank Bigsby, I'm risking the biscuit a little bit, but I'm feeling good about it. I like it. Now,
if you can fill that wide receiver room out, it's gonna be really nice.
I wish, there's a couple players I wish would have fallen or that still could fall, and we'll see where it goes. So anyway, this year to draft this Jamar Chase stack, you've got to go 1, 2, 4. In some cases 3 for Burrow. 1, 2, 4. Last year you were getting Burrow in like 6. You were getting Chase in 1 still, and you were getting Higgins in like 4 or 5, right? So it was a lot cheaper. And then Jamar or Chase Brown. Chase Brown was going in. Like, I don't know, what, 6? What was he going in? Chase Brown last year?
Yeah, probably around that.
Like 6, 7 or something, if I remember correctly. Maybe 6, 8. It depends on when. So like this was attainable last year, so now it's not. So you got to ask yourself, okay, what players have this upside? Well, you have MHJ, who's a 3. You got Benson, who's, you know, who knows where he's going to go right now. And then you've got Kyler, who goes in like 6-7. So this is a very cheap way to do that. This is a very, I think
Brown,
this is awesome.
Chase Brown was going as, at least in this league, the Marsville League, he's going as a RB39, pick 118. Like round 9.
I wish Bashal Tootin would have fell because I could have had Bigsby and him cuffed. That would have been pretty nice.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You can cup that room a few different ways.
I think my Jalen,
yeah,
Jalen McMillan's pretty nice. I think I still think he's good.
I do too.
I think he's still.
I still think you're right that it might be him and Ibuka will be starting at some point this year.
So my receiving room looks pretty decent right now. I mean, McMillan's not a bum. That's a good player. It's going to get some work. Cooper Kupp, Debo, CD, McBride, Hall, Scat, Sharbs, Bigsby, Hurts, Kyler, Dak. I really think this is so dangerous. This Hurts, Kyler, Dak, McBride, Lamb. Just the way that hits is just powerful. I feel like I'm going to get somehow, some way I'm going to get like 50 points a week with just the 2 of those. Besh was a nice pick there. I was going to take him. God, that timer is so fast. I guess I'll go Kyle Pitts here.
Sorry about it.
God, that timer is so quick.
Funny looking at the ADP from last year, how ahead of people we were on Chase Brown.
I know.
Players that were going before Chase Brown last year.
And I admit that there's a little bit of a panic, mode when he wasn't doing anything right away. And it's like, here I am all offseason like a moron going, Chase Brown! And everyone's picking up on it. We're all saying it. I got people saying it in the airport on video. First person to send me a video clip of them saying it in the weirdest place gets a membership to this and that. And we got people calling in, buying into Smitty and, is Chase Brown hype, and I'm feeling like an idiot. I'd still believe, but I was just like, come on. Like week 1, week 2, it's like, God. And then all of a sudden, Chase Brown!
People dropped him after week 3.
People
dropped him after week 3. Week 4, he popped off.
I probably felt best about that call than any of them just because of the buildup of that, like thinking, damn, this sucks. I think I'm right. I think I'm right on Chase Brown, and it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm like, I think I'm right. And then, boom, freaking goes crazy. This is wild right now. I don't know who I'm going to take.
Yeah, it's Wild Wild West.
It is crazy up in here. Look at Tesla there. He goes undrafted, by the way. He doesn't have a single ADP.
Yeah.
Arguing about Tesla like he's some hot commodity, and he's not even getting drafted. You're going to be wrong about Tesla, Smitty. Well, why is nobody drafting him? I'll go Jalen Royals here. I'm reaching like a madman. I have no clue who to take here.
Yeah, the ADP is
I think,
so backed up.
I think E. Mitchell could be decent. Their quarterback room is okay.
Who?
Still like A.D. Mitchell.
Oh,
A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah, he could be. Let me hit this phone number, guys. Call in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in.
Oh, yeah, don't forget Restrepo.
Yeah. I think he's so far down.
Yeah.
I'll look. You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to grab him and what's his face? And just grab that. That's the Titans' number 1 wide receiver. Let's see here. Let me get rid of that. Okay, I'm on the clock here. What do I need? I got 3 QBs. I need some RBs. I'm going Brashard Smith before it's too late. I really like that.
Yeah.
And I need RB, upside. Because I got Bigsby, I got Brashard Smith, I got Charbonnet, I got Scatterbo and Hall. I think I got 2 starters in Brees Hall and Scat, but this whole team's living and dying by this pretty light skeleton crew rushing attack, but it's crushing at QB. I think I probably the best QB room. That rotation is just filthy. I think I easily have in the cards for the as good as anybody's receiving room, I think, and that goes for even teams that drafted 4 straight wide receivers. And then I got probably easily tied for the best tight end room with the Bowers owner. I mean, Pitts and McBride's pretty good, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's see what this person did. This wide receiver team, where is that? Yeah, like, I mean, wouldn't you rather have I took a wide receiver in round 1, so it's not fair, I guess. Let me go to a team that has a wide receiver in round 1 that went, we didn't have anybody but team 1. So don't you agree that who's his RBs? Yeah, jeez. I mean, look, his receivers are better. He's got Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison Jr., Tyreek Hill, and Travis Hunter. I like that better than Debo, Lamb, Debo, and Kupp and Jalen McMillan. But I've got him at quarterback. He's only got Burrow. He's got Burrow and Lawrence. He's got James Conner, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, and Rashad White. That's not winning Best Ball Mania. I venture to say, like, looking at it, I mean, what makes anybody think they're winning Best Ball Mania with that running back stable, or vice versa with the wide receiver room that's got like nobody? When people will go RB, and then they're like, Smitty, I got J-Mo and this really weak wide receiver room. I mean, I don't think it's winning Best Ball Mania. I can't envision it. I don't think at all. I think anybody that wins Best Ball Mania is going to stumble upon a good draft slot, some good luck, some bad drafters, and have a team that just looks filthy from top to bottom. I mean, it definitely is going to take some skill as well, but I don't think anybody's winning Best Ball Mania. Yoshi Boss ain't bad here. I'm going to time out on Yoshi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers, 2. Any actually, you know what, don't say anything yet. I was gonna say any sleepers, but there's a couple players that
Hartman is in the draft in the 8 slot.
Who?
BMH 09. Hartman.
Okay.
I guess on Underdog he's BMH 09. 8 slot.
All right, I'm going to take this guy. I don't want to say early. We're around 17. But I'm going to take the Chicago Bear rookie running back. Managi or what's his name? Managai. Yeah, we're eventually going to get corrected by him probably, just like Achan. But Manangai or Manangai, I don't know. But he's solid. Like his college film is pretty good. I think that could be a really decent pick right now. He has no ADP. He wasn't getting drafted at all beforehand, so he's kind of a slip through the cracks player. Would love to hear your opinion on my team in the 8 slot. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Travis. Thank you. Team in the 8 spot. Well, let's take a little gander at it, pal. Let's go on over to the 8 spot. 8 spot is the far right team. Nico McCaffrey, Terry McLaurin, Hampton, Waddle, Ridley, Hawkinson, Brandon Ayuk, Brock Purdy, Pacheco, Tucker Kraft, Bashal Tutin, Tua Blue, Jalen Reed, Darius Slayton, and Eckler. I mean, it feels like you're a Niner fan, to be honest. So I think maybe you're forcing some Niners there, but I think his QB's Purdy, he's got Ayuk, and he's got McCaffrey. So I'm assuming you're a Niner fan, unless you're just stacking Niners. But I don't love McCaffrey. I think McLaurin in the 3rd is, for me, too early. And I know some are going to say, "What? I can't believe he's that." I love McLaurin last year. I mean, we're the big McLaurin fans. A lot of places weren't higher on McLaurin than we were. But 3rd round is expensive, and Debo's in town, and he's a year older, and you don't know what's going to... I just think it's high. I think Hampton in 4 is perfect. I think Waddle, Ridley, and Ayuk are kind of rough for me. Waddle's okay, but Ridley and Ayuk, I don't know that I like those picks more than like other players. Brock is okay. It's not my favorite quarterback. Tua is not my favorite quarterback, but those together could score okay. I think you're fine. I don't think it... Like, you want my opinion? Is it going to win? No, I think if you tweaked it a little bit, what would I suggest you do? Not reach on McLaurin. I think, I don't know who I would tell you to draft instead of, like, Waddle, for example. Who's on the board? Harvey. Like, I'd rather have Harvey than Waddle. But I don't want you reaching on Harvey, though. So, like, I think you would have got a better team if you weren't in Snipe City. Your team's good. It's just, I don't know. All right, this is my last pick. I got McBride and Pitts. Do I need a 3rd tight end? Or do I want one more RB since I'm so thin at RB, but, like, I have a lot of upside players? I got Hall, Scattaboo, Charbonnet, Bigsby, Brashard Smith, and the Bears rookie running back. And on the clock, or on the board available, would be Jarquez Hunter, who I could cuff to... Oh, wait, I don't have Kyron in this league. I guess that means tight end. Oh, Fanning. I'll take Fanning Jr. Okay. I like that. Fanning Jr., Pitts, and McBride. I feel good with it. It's a good squad. That IDP, yeah, I still see people are still talking about that IDP call. God, I've never been so frustrated. Never been so frustrated. Being told, I feel like I was talking to I don't even want to say it. Why isn't? I wonder why Gump hasn't called in. Let's see if I recognize. So Ray G's team. Let me go back out of here. And don't worry about these projections yet. Mahomes, Hurts, Dart, Gibbs, Kyron, Garendo, Hubbard. Nice running backs. Gibbs, Kyron, Hubbard, Garendo. I like that. Ladd, J-Mo, Igbuka. Solid. Kelsey, Gray. I like it. Mahomes at quarterback. I think it's a good team. Rock Out. I think Rock Out had one of the better squads. Bucky, Walker. Oh, I'm sorry I took Charbonnet from you, Rock Out. I didn't even realize.
I fumbled.
My bad, man. I try not to like leave anybody for anybody like that feels wrong, but I'm sorry you didn't get Sharbs.
We have a QB.
JD5 Bryce Young, Shador, and Milrow. And then he's got. It's hard to do It's hard to do 4 quarterbacks in an 18-man though. You got to be careful because like I realize. You're thin. I'm anxious to see where this hurt you. Bucky, Walker, Kamara, Brian Robinson, Sampson. Pretty good. You could get by with that number of running backs. BT, Rice, Diggs, Kyle Williams, Coker, Mitchell, Tolbert, and you did okay. Evan Ingram and Tyler Warren. I think you'll be fine. Yeah, I thought you were going to be hurting on that. No, you did good.
That's pretty good. I like that team.
You got the right amount of running backs that are good that you could get away with one less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be a winner. Oh. Could be a winner, Rock Out.
Okay.
I think my team from earlier tonight was better than the one I have now. This squad right here. Where's my graphic? I like this team, man. This team excites me. I get excited when I look at this team. Hurts, Mahomes, double. I love going bully QB with Mahomes because he's so cheap. And to get those wide receivers with those tight ends, with those running backs while getting double bully QB, I don't know. And Achane, I couldn't believe Achane fell to 20. Like that. Look at Achane fell to 20. Oh, wow. Hurts fell to 44. Harvey's the only guy that didn't fall that I thought I got Harvey. It would have been game over. The really good running backs are always hopping. Almost so that they get hit from hopping around. You talking about like jump cuts and stuff. Yeah. All right, boys. Anything else? Probably going to call it a short show. Short being an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Earlier in the chat, I don't know if he's still here, Vice City, he was asking, he's in a super flex, and he has C.J. Stroud. Would you rather have Drake May or C.J. Stroud? Then the other option would be Kyler Murray in a second rounder for C.J. Stroud.
Where's May, though? Where am I taking him?
Superflex Dynasty. It would be a trade.
I don't know. It sounds pretty confusing. Again. So I have Drake May or Stroud. I want May to answer that question. But do I like Kyler in round 2? Which I don't know how that relates to.
No. The trade is Kyler in a second round pick.
Oh.
For Stroud.
Kyler. I'd rather have Kyler in a second round. Now, this is a second round rookie pick. Is this a second round? I'm sure it is, but
it sounds like a rookie pick. I believe
some people can trade like a future second round vet pick in a keeper league. I mean, there's so many options there. But I would say give me Kyler in the second round. I think Kyler outscores Stroud. Stroud.
I think so. All right, cool.
All right, boys. Rock out. Good draft.
Yep.
See you later, my boy.
All right. Later, Rock out. See you, Smitty.
Rock out. Later.
Yep.
All right. Well, no Gump. Kind of a light phone call session there. Hour and 40-minute show in the books. 2 drafts down. We got 3 Best Ball Manias already done today. It's pretty good. The weekly winners is also one I love. I love that one. I love that one. All right. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. Let me see if I think I got all the messages. I think I got all the super chats out of the way. The messages. Appreciate you all. Man. I'm feeling really, really, really good about these best ball drafts already. Feel like we're going to crush it. 130 of you in here. Please hit the thumb up button on the way out the door. I'll see you all tomorrow. MHJ season to the moon. And on that note, we might as well hit the oldie but goodie.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but starving Marvin will answer the call. They're Kyler and Marvin. I'm a cardinal, hey, I'm a cardinal. 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 The Cardinals look to be rising, and MHJ is your king. I'm a cardinal.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas. They are the 8 supernovas.
Look at the addition right here. In 5. There he is. Or in 5. In 1. The council, the generals, the graduates.
I'm looking at the 8.
Damn, Harvey looks good with this group. I can't believe we got 2 receivers for the Jags, Hunter and Thomas Jr., though. It sounds wild.
The magnificent 8.
Maybe T-Law has to be on this list. He's not going to be, but it's crazy to think about.
Off of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ. He's gonna put it on you. He's BTJ. Gonna have a good game. He's BTJ. Your mama screams his name. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do.
Yeah, for those of you still talking about Hunter, believe me, your league commissioner is corrupt. Most likely. There's a 8 chance out of 10. 8 times out of 10, these commissioners will just change rules. And it's also going to be important how like these league management softwares approach Hunter. This could be one of the biggest debated offseason crybaby episodes in either direction, where league management software is pressured to exclude, to not include. What's the default setting like right now? Does your commissioner actually go in and, on Sleeper, it'll tell you when he makes a change. Go in and make a change to the settings that are already there and have existed then that's a corrupt commissioner, and he should be ashamed of himself. But it's going to be a wild debate for the ages, and dare I say, the calmness of this topic will not be anywhere near the calmness levels that it's at now. It will be an irate and screaming match-like environment in leagues if this thing isn't handled in a way that is clear to everybody and there's no argument to be made. Like if all league management's like, boom, we're doing this. You know, if you haven't had the setting adjusted, then blah, blah, blah. Like, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if anybody knows their own scoring in IDP. If you've had players that have returned kicks or something and have gotten points, then you might already have a leg up on knowing. But then again, is an offensive play different than a kick return? I mean, that's not even really in settings in some cases. You know, MFL, Mo City plays on MFL. They got settings for everything. So you probably have a very clear answer waiting for you. But, I mean, Sleeper probably doesn't have a breakdown at that level. You know, they're not looking at receiving yards. You know, but sometimes like a defensive player has gone in and taken a handoff and scored a touchdown. Like, what happened in your league in that? Did they not get the touchdown? If they didn't, then Hunter's going to score no points on offense. Happy drafting, everyone. Thank you, Ilfil. Appreciate you. I'll see you all later.